we train our artist eye. And so we talk about how an artist sees the world differently than everyone else. The artist looks for beauty in places where maybe others don't. And so an artist takes that lens of looking at the world and finding that, whether it's in other people and finding the beauty in another person, finding the beauty in their surroundings, in their city, and it just makes for a more positive person, a person who's got that idea of, I'm going to go out there and find that beautiful thing.
That music was, in my mind, music was everything. And so that was one of the things that really, I'll say, captivated my mind about music. So that's my most favorite thing about music, that it's all around us and involves everything, in our churches, in our homes, in our car, everywhere.
I'm an artsy kid, and when I found out that there was going to be an arts magnet school, I thought to myself, as an arts kid, I would have loved to have gone to a school like this.
It's really a magic mixture. We've got the arts integration, we've got so many opportunities from kids from very diverse backgrounds, and it works so well together. And they get to come to the school and have all these professional experiences that they wouldn't get to have otherwise. It's just a very good, loving family place.
This is exactly where I want my kids to go, and I said, can my kids come? And they said yes, and I said, okay, I'm your girl.
Being here at Caldwell, you know, with them being able to perform with the dance group, and then with Mr. Johnson's the musical, you know, they're getting that experience on the stage, and then taught, it gives them the experience too of performing for large crowds. So it kind of all ties together.
We can fill a child with knowledge. We can make them to be successful in the world, but we can also feed a child's soul too, what speaks to them. And through the arts, we can do that. And to me, that just enriches a child.
I think a world without music would be a very plain world, a dull world, a flatline world, pretty much a dead world.
Life is a story, and I think sometimes as young people, we have a hard time finding our place in life, in our position, in a sense of belonging. To understand our story and in our place, to be able to identify with characters through other stories may give them more of a sense of belonging in this world.
I have kids, you know, that feel like they don't have any control in their world. Maybe there's some tough situations at home, or they've had a loss of a family member, a number of things that are rough. And one thing I talk about in the art room is an artist can create a world where you're in charge, and they have that power and that control. And so we get to come into a world that's not always beautiful, and we get to add beauty to it.
I mean, I think that we channel kids a lot of different ways. Some examples of that may be the child who is you know, very creative in thought and in mind, something that it's hard for them to articulate or express in your normal classroom setting. I've seen it time and again for students to step into my classroom or one of the fine arts classrooms, and they get that instant success, that instant gratification that boosts their confidence to allow them to go back into the classroom. And so it's not perfect, so it's not the way that the others are doing it, so it's not always the right answer, but they're seeing where their successes are coming in, and that just creates greater self-confidence in the classroom.
I mean, every kid gets on that stage at some point at Caldwell. I mean, every year for the dance showcase, every kid is on that stage.
I really get to watch these kids grow up from kindergarten through 5th grade for the most part. We really get to spend time and maintain that relationship over the course of potentially 6 years. One of the biggest rewards in my position, in the fine arts position, is that we see these kids, they evolve performance-wise as people, their personalities. To see these skills develop in really a short amount of time is probably the greatest gain that I think our students have at this school.
Well, you take Tiny Tot, they're starting out kinder and first grade. And I've actually had some students that just were so scared that they did not want to get on the court, and then their next performance they did it. And when they got through, they were on cloud nine. They were high-fiving their parents, high-fiving their coaches, and they felt like they had accomplished something.
Caldwell kids were the most talkative kids, but they were also the kids that were like, okay, I've got this. They were braver as far as exploring new ideas, and that, you know, translated into science and speaking and math and all of that. I tell the kids, I mean, even if you're a lab scientist and you don't see a lot of people, you will have to report your findings.
Our kids know how to speak well. They know how to carry their body. They are the first ones to volunteer for things. They're not afraid to be in front of people because they've had this experience.
And it's really exciting, and that experience goes with them all the way up. And with the confidence, and then giving them those skills to think outside the box, which is what we want for 21st century adults. You know, when the calculator can do the math, we need people that can use their right side of the brain and solve problems that no one's even thought of yet. So, does that make sense?